Okay. We're good.
Just got to end my person
Yeah.
meeting now and.
Yeah.
So, oh, and is this the link right here?
What, the Zoom link? The meeting link?
Yep.
Okay.
I just need to share that on the school doing with you. And we're all good. Yeah. Hey, welcome, man. Here for the Cybersecurity Club?
Cybersecurity club.
Yep.
Is that an actual club or am I intruding on a club meeting?
No, it's an actual club. I mean, you're welcome to join if you want.
Oh,
It's open to public, basically.
I was just sent over here from photography. You said we're gonna be merging.
Yeah. You're welcome to join in. We're gonna have a speaker and then we're gonna start the club. So you're take whatever seat you want, man.
I want to log in.
So we're not working.
Oh, it's just Chris.
Were you trying to log in under mine?
Yeah, I'm trying to log onto mine.
I don't log into that. Oh. Oh, yes. What? You're trying incognito, so there's no cookies. Hey, I want. Oh. You know what? It's probably because I logged in under my school account to the computer. That's why it was auto-correcting.
Mm.
That actually sucks, that feature. Can we get your email real quick too so we can send?
I got it here.
Oh, you got it already?
Yeah. I got it here.
Perfect. Never mind then. We'll take a look.
Into Zoom or no?
Say that one more time.
You're gonna log into the thing or would you just?
You give her like share permission via.
Yeah, I'll give it to her. Oh, yeah.
Because I'm on my phone, so my network might not be stable.
Okay, that's understandable.
Okay. I emailed it to the both of you.
Sweet.
Okay.
Got it. Yeah, I'll post that real quick.
I cannot see people in.
If you wanna, you're gonna be presenting stuff on your computer, right?
Yep.
Okay, you could just plug it in right here. Bye. Get that.
Which I still need to join the Zoom are always, are people online or no?
People will be hopping online Zoom meeting now. He just sent it to you via your email. The Zoom
Already
link.
did send me, is the same as the one Adam sent or no?
It should probably will be a new link under
Okay.
your email.
Let's see. This one?
Yes,
Okay.
that's the one.
Okay.
Then we can give you.
You play inside. Yeah, there was you like that actual. Yeah, they say. Says like. Second one. Yeah.
Are you able to share your presentation? Okay.
Yep.
Yep, I'm going to have her. Gonna have her be able to
Mute one.
then gonna give you host on here.
Is that the Zoom or the Discord?
Do you need me to give her host?
I just gave her host.
Okay.
I muted on here.
And this is being recorded.
Yeah.
Awesome, thank you.
Okay, there we go. Just muted it.
Whichever way this is muted.
Okay, better?
Yep, and you should have host permission on there.
And if you want to share your presentation, there is a share.
Yep.
That's it, you know.
Yes, we use Zoom for our meetings too, yeah.
Some use Zoom, some use Team.
Yeah, it's coming from. Huh.
Can you mute me from over there or no? Maybe it's me again.
There we go. Let's see that. Okay, that's muted now. Sweet. Then if we change it over to your computer right there.
Her mic is on. Chris,
What?
her mic is on?
Her microphone?
Yeah.
Here, I can just mute this one right here.
If she's connected to the HDMI
Maybe it's one over there.
speaker. There,
Oh, yeah, it does take over the speaker. Okay.
yeah, it does.
What settings in here or yeah, I'm gonna have to switch back over. I love Windows. Okay. Here we go.
Okay, I think it's a little echo, it's fine.
You wanna,
It's better.
where is the echo coming from?
It's coming from that speaker right there. I'm just gonna turn off the output.
Is your laptop muted? Maybe it's coming from your laptop.
was coming from
Yeah, it's coming from.
Oh,
Okay,
It is?
Yeah.
so we're good now?
Yeah, okay.
good business, well.
Okay.
Well, thank you for having me tonight. My name is Ana Antoski. I'm currently with Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan. I'm Enterprise Audit Director with the Internal Audit Team. Been with, started my career with OCC actually. I had a job with the lab. I was one of the lab assistants as I was getting my degree in computer programming. Actually, I was pretty good at C plus and Sharp. was a long time ago. So once I graduated from, there was no jobs, with just associate degree. Well, I go. Me. Pretty cool, but after a while, I started having, I had my first son, so I couldn't, and all the international travel was 2 weeks at a time, so it became a little bit too much. That's where I looked for a company to transition where will be local and very limited travel. So I chose Blue Cross of Michigan because Blue Cross at that time did not have anything outside of Michigan. So then if I travel, right, because we had vendors, so I'll be traveling within Michigan only. So I transitioned from cybersecurity to external audit, focusing on, and I was with GM, and then Chrysler was also my client during the bankruptcy time. So I did 3 accounting periods. It was very interesting, but I moved away kind of from cybersecurity to a little bit more accounting and business processes. At that time, I got my MBA because I like to continuously learn. And then left Deloitte, joined Blue Cross. When I went Blue Cross, I was, the interesting thing when you talk about audit is the controls, sometimes they do not change. So you kind of test the same thing over and over. And I got bored after a while, right? Once you master controls, even of a certain application, it's repeatable, right? You test the same controls over and over, so it's kind of bored. So when I joined Blue Cross, one of the requirements I wanted to do is I don't want to do the same thing over. So I got put on this internal audit team that we would review all major projects. Most companies do implement new things like new ERP system or new vendor, and how change is executed in the companies through a project means. So they have like a big project. So the company was spending at that time about $350 million per year on building new things, not sure how many you have Blue Cross insurance, but we have an app, right? You have a portal, and continuously update on that. So for a while, I was kind of reviewing controls, and depending on what the nature would have been. So sometimes I would be focusing on very business types of review, making sure the strategic initiatives are met, and sometimes I would do very technical because cybersecurity breaches start being very big in healthcare. So I would focus on helping the company adapt the cybersecurity framework. Blue Cross decided to adopt high trust. And then we went to SAC 1 and SAC 2 certifications, which are kind of external certification to if you didn't want to be audited all the time. So the company decided to get a SAC certification. They want to pause here.
Got it. I got it.
Okay.
Okay. So, and then after did SAC 2, and there was a big Anthem breach, and there was one of the blues companies, so that was like the first breach. And we, so I'll work on different cybersecurity requirements because Blue Cross is governed by BCBSA. So they'll say, okay, Blue Cross, you gotta implement this cybersecurity requirements. You gotta implement this compliance requirements. And then you would, also, anytime our vendor would have any of our Blues partner vendor, we have a breach, the cybersecurity incident, so we all, I'll be pulled into helping that. And then Blue Cross started growing, and because I like to do new things, then I got put on mergers and acquisition, but representing internal audit. So I'll be sent, my team will be sent, and if we wanted to purchase a new company, my team will do an assessment over governance, risk management, internal control. So we say, hey, green, yellow, red, right? And that gives us an insight into how we want to acquire or merge with this company. For example, if their cybersecurity posture, because before Blue Cross, it's big, right? We are about $52 billion company. We're bigger than our CFO will say. We're bigger than mac and cheese. We're bigger than Kraft. Bigger than HP if you look at our revenue, right? So when we acquire a company, small company like a starter, their cybersecurity posture might not be as robust as ours, and that's okay, right? Because maybe they don't have PHI, right? Maybe they are a vendor that's very good at developing, AI tools, right? And we want to implement an AI tool, so they don't have to have such a cybersecurity posture as we would have. So that's where that was my team. I'll go in and say, hey, this team, this is their maturity level in governance, risk management, internal controls, cybersecurity, HIPAA, because once we acquire them, there's like a big blue light on them, right? They become a target. So their surface area increases, right? And now they're being more target. If you think about most of the companies that are breached, actually are breached by their vendors usually, right? Even the latest breach that Forwell had is one of their vendors. So all that to say is I'm far away from my OCC degree in programming because I'm not, other than being very good at school. And I think my project was to create a library database. I haven't really programmed since I got the degree. So you never know where your degree gonna take you. I did go back to Walsh College, got my MBA while I was with Deloitte. And while I was with Deloitte had this rule in order to get promoted. I started as a consultant, then senior consultant, then manager. You had to have a certification. So that's where ISACA comes in. So I got introduced to ISACA about the moment I joined Deloitte, because Deloitte required all the IT people to be part of ISACA. ISACA is it's a professional organization that focuses on certification and also education activities. Our main focus is IT governance, cybersecurity, data privacy, and audit. Why, right? Why profession? Because we are all about, if you think about standards, right? And in those areas, we're all about best practices and standards and enforcing those. Also, it's a community of practice, right? We learn from each other, right? And we share best knowledge. About 5 years ago, I got put on the board. So I joined on the board. I had a certification committee. Then I became secretary, vice president, president. Now I'm, past president. But I always had this certification committee. Because again, I like to learn. I like to obtain new certifications. Any questions so far? It's before I dive into ISACA?
Good so far. Thank you for the
So
intro.
far.
It's good to know that you're an OCC graduate and you're coming back to give representation and give back to the community. So I thank you for doing that. And thank you, Heather, for the connection.
Yeah, I'm in internal audit role, which we think about, where you might look for your career, right? If you get a degree in cybersecurity, your path your career can take different paths. One path is to go with internal audit team. So when you take internal audit team role, you will be focusing on not actually implementing cybersecurity, but actually auditing cybersecurity. How they may look and feel might be different depending on the team you are in. Sometimes it might be penetration and vulnerability testing, right? Usually hire vendors nowadays, but we oversee that. You also would be testing type of controls. You might be testing you might be testing cybersecurity controls, like making sure the firewall rules are enforced. We'll do a firewall audit. We'll do a network audit. We also do audit over overall IT governance, right? IT needs to be governed. The governance framework for IT, the one we support, it's COVID. It talks about how IT works together with business to make sure they are governed, because in the end of the day, IT is an enabler to business. Another role, right, that you might take with your degrees, you might go into risk management. Risk management would be where you would have a job where, for example, you might review, which risk management we think more about second layer, meaning you have people on the network layer that will implement the firewall rule, but you are on the second layer. It's kind of like every quarter you might check to see, okay, have they really followed the process to implement the firewall rules correctly? They might gonna have a procedure to say, we're gonna update firewall rule based on OWASP vulnerabilities, and we're gonna do it every week because they're making up stuff. I don't remember how much, how often OWASP releases the new patches, right? So they say we're gonna release a new patch on Monday, right? You're gonna go through testing and they're gonna implement on Friday. So network team might do that, where the risk management team, they'll come in and kind of check every quarter to make sure that the network team has actually followed the process. But for some reason, it might be a very good reason they are falling behind their patches. So that's another path you can take. Usually, if you report under the CISO, that's the risk management area, because CISO has to be best practices for the Chief Information Security Officer, CISO, to be separated from the IT operations. So there's segregation of duties control. And then the last one, right, would be internal audit. So bear that in mind, because I'm going to also show how the certifications align with that. Okay, we are global community, so there's about 200,000 members all around the world. And how ISACA is structured, we have local chapters. I represent the Detroit chapters. We have about 1,000 members, meaning those 1,000 members are the cybersecurity, internal audit, data privacy, and IT governance people in Detroit. We hold monthly meetings. It's usually the third Wednesday of every month. And also it's a hybrid meeting. You can come in person, right? Or you can join through the Zoom. We once per year, ISACA globally meets. I think last time they met in London. So while we are a local chapter, right, you have ISACA International, then you have the, then they meet once per year, usually come together, right, to talk about, to share more strategic news, to say, okay, what's, with ISACA, where we need to focus as a profession next. Here's our mission and vision statement, right? So we want to empower our members through career, right? And what does empowerment mean, right? It means we give knowledge, we give standards. We also, the credential empowers trust, right? So if you are, when you are hiring manager, it's hard to know the person that you're gonna hire, are they gonna meet the requirements, right? To do the job. Because each company has a different standard. So maybe you have the same job in a different company. It's still hard to say, okay, just because you were successful in that job, and you actually you do not know if you were successful or not in that job. You kind of rely on that person, right? What they're gonna tell you. You can check references on LinkedIn, but if you have a certification such as CPA, right? Would you have somebody do your taxes if they're not a CPA? Show of hands. Would you got, right? So if somebody has, especially and more money you have, right, to do your taxes, right? If you're a student, you probably just fill the form, right? It's very easy to do your taxes on your own, right? But if you have taxes and you invest in the market and become a little bit complex because you cash in on some stocks and some stocks you kept and you have a loss, then you want a professional to do your taxes. And you're gonna go to somebody that's certified. How do you know if they're professional or not? Like, how can I trust you're a good accountant, right? And a good accountant in a good standing, meaning they're not gonna take my money and run with it, right? So that's where the CPA comes in, because CPA is another professional, AICP is another professional organization that establishes it's for public accountant. Now ISACA is like that, right? It's just for cybersecurity, IT governance, internal audit, privacy. So how do we serve them, right? We serve them with a certification. We also serve them by providing guidance. We publish best practices, including if you are professional, you're required to have 40 hours of continuous professional education every year. So we also provide that as well. Otherwise, and that's the same requirement if you are CPA as well. Also, other professions such as lawyers, right? They're also required continuously learning. So if you're a professional organization, most of them would offer some kind of learning so you continue to maintain your certifications. So here's the member benefits, right? There's a free framework that they publish. There's a member-only event that is discounts, and of course, and I'm going to talk in depth for some of them. One of them I want to talk today about is the ISACA mentorship program. Probably your professors are telling you, you should have, as you progress in your career, you should have at least 2 people in your corner. One of them is a mentor, one of them is a coach. The mentor is the one that will help you, sometimes it will help you provide information on how to move on next step in your career, but can also help you establish, I guess, bridges to get you to the next career as well. So ISACA has a global mentorship program, and it's free for members. So I'm one of the mentors. With ISACA, I had one mentee. They wanted to talk about where they were on a career break and were not sure where they should go next. So she wanted to kind of run through me and say, okay, what kind of option do I have? Which degrees, where can I go, right? But she was also considering other blues, right? To say, okay, Ana, we have connections, right? Now to recommend somebody that also it's trust, right? And relationship takes a little bit longer, but sometimes if you have a mentor, right, they will advocate for you and you establish a long-lasting relationship with them as well. Yes.
So I did a mentorship program last year, and I'm still talking to my mentor.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I just reached out to him just recently, actually, just to check in with him. But yeah, it's been very, very beneficial.
Thank you. Yeah, and coaching is another. If you don't have a coach can be one of your professors or somebody that you connect with, where they will not only they'll be a little bit more tactical and tell you the how to say, okay, maybe you got a feedback, you need to improve your speaking skills, right? And you don't know how, so the coach will kind of guide you a little bit more onto the how, rather than the mentor is more like what. So again, free for members. Now, the most, so these are the ISACA certification, and these are the one that's the most known, the CISA, CISM, and because we're a professional organization, ISACA also keep track of how much, what's the salaries for this, for people that have these, salaries. As I talked before, like let's say you are, IT auditor and you come from another company, and have an IT auditor position on my team. It's hard for me to say, how much did you do and how much you did not do. And now with AI tools, you can pretty much come up with answers, right? You can say the moment I ask you the questions, right? You can probably, if this is a Zoom meeting, you can come up with a good answer. So it'll be hard to validate. Did you really do that, or somebody's coaching you on the background? Now, certifications, it's where, right, is you study for it and you pass. It's kind of helps us validate that you can actually apply some of that knowledge that you talk about. In addition to these, now the ISACA came up with AI certifications. Nobody else has certifications, so the advanced degrees, you need to have one of these in order to get that one. And they're built in a such manner that kind of demonstrate that, like auditing AI, for example, it's a big thing now, right? Because AI is new, nobody knows how to audit AI, because most of the auditing in cybersecurity, it's built on a deterministic nature of things, right? Things do not change. Versus now with AI, it's more about probability. So if I talk about, if I want to see that something happens, right, there was cybersecurity breach, I would go and check the audit, the audit trails to see, okay, what's documented, right? How the things happen, what's there. But if this was an AI tool, chances are, it will be very hard to demonstrate that because the audit trail is for that particular time. And the AI tool might generate so many AI trails so many audit trails, but we cannot analyze them. Even if you use another AI tool to analyze them. So there's a little bit nuances about how do we audit AI system and how do we enable trust into AI system, especially when the AI is, can cause harm. So ISACA came up with a framework to say, here are the major type of controls based on OWASP or NIST, right? On all other major frameworks, high trust, where companies should be thinking about when they're implementing AI systems. And on top of it, then they came up to say, okay, if you want to be auditor of AI, here's the type of certification you should obtain. One of them is Advanced in AI Audit, and they have Advanced in AI Security Manager. So depending which path you take, you might, go for one or more certifications. And most companies do pay for the certifications, right? So if you are in a good company, most companies do pay. So also wanted to highlight, right, with your degree in cybersecurity, right, as I said before, your career might take a different path, right? You can take the audit path, and ISACA has kind of like which certification you should be thinking about as you move into that career path to help you progress. As I said, at Deloitte had you cannot be a manager unless you had the CISA. If you are in that, also at Blue Cross, you could not be a manager unless you have CISA or CPA or CIA, which is Certified Internal Auditor. In most companies, you cannot become on the top, layer unless you have some kind of certification in our profession. Now, there's also CISSP as well, from a different one, but that's not by ISACA. Then you have the risk management one. So in cybersecurity, right, you might be managing just a cybersecurity risk, or you might be managing IT risk and cybersecurity, just one of the IT risks that, in that portfolio of risk management. There's also governance, right? AI governance, it's a hot topic right now. How do we govern AI? Even President Trump's talking about it, right? So first NIST came up with a very robust framework and say, okay, AI, you can hear two different thoughts. One is to say AI is dangerous and you're going to take over and can cause so much harm and so fast, right? So make sure we govern together. There's no bias, right? There's integrity and ethics embedded in how we build these systems. Then you have the other one, where, you know, if we guard the AI so much, we're gonna be slow and behind. Because if you put guard or something, you put a lot of weight on it. And if you have a lot of weight, you can only move so fast. So in order for United States to progress where we want to be with AI, right? So they release, you know, for a while, and the federal government, it's if you ever want to look into like standards and how cybersecurity, the federal government, it's a good example because they have a very robust requirements for cybersecurity. They follow the NIST framework, right? And if you are a contractor for them, which Blue Cross is, because we offer insurance for federal employees, they require you to follow so many standards, and they come in order you quite often to make sure you're following those standards. So governance would be where, you know, as a Blue Cross, right, we have different clients, right? We have the government as a client, we have the private companies such as GM, the self-insured, then we have the smaller companies, and then we have the BCBSA, and sometimes our members might go out of state and get services in California. So then you have the California privacy security requirements, right? Because some of the cybersecurity and privacy requirements are at the state level, and some of them are federal law. All that to stay is we might be subject to so many compliance requirements. So governance is that umbrella that kind of helps and aligns all those cybersecurity requirements so they are in alignment with each other versus they're working against each other. So that's also one of the career path. GRC, sometimes it's called GRC as well. Privacy, it's another. There's breaches, cybersecurity breaches almost daily, and that's where the privacy comes in, making sure that after the breach or before the breach, right, the privacy controls are in place. And then the last one, as I said, you might be core security. This is when if you are on, if you're a network engineer and you manage the firewall, you manage, some of the more the infrastructure layer, right, from the IT system. Any questions so far?
What impact do you see AI having in cybersecurity or your field?
I think we're seeing that they're using AI they're using AI to analyze the data a lot faster, which enables them to kind of target companies a lot faster. So the moment the vulnerability is released, right? Sometimes what the vulnerability is, it's from WASP is released, but you don't know which company, right? Which company to target because you're not sure which one hasn't patched. So you can use AI to go over the data really fast, right? And analyze it, and then you can target that company faster. There's also, you can use as any tool, there are people coming up with different types of schemes. You can use social engineering better, right? Give me a script, right? How to do this. There's so many, but it's for the good and the bad. Actually, on the last one of the ISACA meetings, we talk about that, how AI is being used as a tool to reach companies more, but also AI is used on the other side, right, to kind of analyze and close the vulnerabilities faster too. So in any tool, right, you can do it for good or for bad, right? That's how it is. Yes.
In regards to certifications, are pretty much from what you've seen, all certifications, do they have an expiration date, or are there some that are, once you're certified for life?
Yep, so the ISACA one, once you're certified for life as long as you obtain 40 hours of continuous professional education per year, and then you follow the code of conduct. And some of the AI new one requires to have an AI specific continuous education. So CPA is the same, the CI is the same. The only one where you have to recertify it's high trust. So I was a high trust practitioner for a while because the company was adopting high trust. And it wasn't a hard test at all, it was an easy test to pass. But it's cost like 3,000 to certify every three years. And even the company pays for that, that was a lot of money. So versus, I think I pay for ISACA, I don't pay, the company pays because they require me to have it, right? They also pay for the test as well to get certified, and also for the studying. It's about, it's like, but I also have several certifications. So each certification costs money. So I think about the company pays about $350, $400 for me per year. But also when I go and audit an area, right? And they say, well, you should have put this control, or your firewall is not enabled. And they're like, okay, who are you to tell me I should do this, right? So you can say, hey, there's a trust because I am a professional, right? I constantly study, right? So how do you, same way you do for the CPA, how do you know you're doing your taxes based on, right? So your name and signature means something, right? Because you have the certification. But for the ISACA one, no. I think usually up to this year, their general education, like in cybersecurity, now with the AI one, they require you to have a 10 AI specific training, which has been hard because not many, nobody offers AI specific training. Any other question? Yep.
Something I noticed here is the audit is got many more certifications, and we had a previous speaker here that was talking about Active Directory auditing. Curious about elaborating on the quantity of audit, because he was also emphasizing the audit aspect of cybersecurity.
Yep. So funny fact, ISACA started as a data processing audit in the 67, because at that time everything was about data, right, and processing. So I think we have a little bit more on audit, because audit covers cybersecurity, it also covers governance, it also covers compliance. So you have audit over everything, versus you have one privacy, one security, right? Then you have one internal audit versus one operational audit like CPA, versus we audit, you might cover any of those domains. So in cybersecurity, all you need to study cybersecurity, right? All you need to study the newest standards. Internal audit, I have to study the cybersecurity, and I have to also study the new accounting rules. Then I need to study the new compliance rules, right? Because, this Medicare, Medicaid, right? And then I also need to study the privacy and security requirements, not just on the federal, but the state level, because Michigan has its own, right? California has another. So that's why there's more for audit, because audit covers all of those different areas. Because we're the third layer, and then we look back on everything, versus cybersecurity, just do cybersecurity. But we also started as an audit function, and then we kind of evolved. So I think some of it, because that's our base, right?
Great, that's your specialty.
That's our specialty, yes.
Thank you.
No problem. Okay, so and some of the money, right, we talked about this, some of the money that you give towards certification is to make sure the profession is well known. So one of the, and ISACA Foundation, this is ISACA International, they're running two programs. One is the ISACA Scholarship Program, and the other one, the Digital Trust Workforce Inclusion Program. So the timing is actually pretty good, because the scholarship program is happening right now. And I can, Adam, you have the deck, you can share it. You can share it, and I can send you guys the deck. You can take a look to apply for the scholarship. They have 216 scholarship recipients. They give back lots of the money, and it talks about how you can, I think on the next slide, I have some dates. The scholarship actually is happening right now. So the application closed on May 5th. So I would encourage you to take a look, right? You never know, right? And apply for their scholarship. There's 2 cycles. We also host, ISACA Detroit hosts scholarship, but it's more cybersecurity competition. We just wrapped it up in March. So we give away about, I want to say $13,000. There's one first prize, $3,500. There's a 2 second prize at each of them, $2,500, and then we have 3 third place, 1,500 as well. So there's if you're pursuing cybersecurity, or audit any of these, take a look at the scholarship as well. Another one is the Digital Trust Workforce Inclusion Program. I believe this one it's no cost to students and professionals looking to enter or reskill in digital trust career. Now, digital trust is also one of the hot fields because the Internet of Things, everything is connected to everything. So how do we establish trust between the different devices we have connected all together? So that's what digital trust is about. And that's a big for a company like Blue Cross, because we have vendors and then they have vendors and then they have vendors, right? So, and we don't want to oversee all of them. But if something, if one of them gets breached, nobody talks about the vendor getting breached, will be Blue Cross, right? Because we're the bigger one, we're the target. And that hurts, right? That hurts our brand. So digital trust, it's another one you wanna, perhaps take a look. I also have the link on the slides as well. And then I think one of the questions, right, was asked is like ISACA offers their student group, their official groups that can be formed here on this slide. It's kind of what's the process to become ISACA official student group. So in addition to connecting with your local chapter president, and for if you look under Detroit ISACA on a website, the current president is Angelo Topi. He's with Plant Moran. And Sajay, right, is Rai. He's the academic relations coordinator. And many people on the board or in the ISACA meetings, those are the people that, those are the people that are your network connections, right? Sajay, for example, he runs security yours. If you've been to the Pistons games, you probably noticed his company because he's also part owner, right, from the Pistons. So he's very active, right, on the board. We have people from KPMG, from PwC. We have some small, consulting companies as well, right, at our local chapter. Again, is we want to grow the network, but we also want to make sure we share knowledge, right, the network connection, so we can grow the next generation of cybersecurity professionals and auditors. And you can connect with us. We are active on LinkedIn, right, Instagram. Not that much on Facebook, but LinkedIn is probably the best way to connect with us. ISACA, though, they have channels on each of those. Detroit, we mostly do LinkedIn. I think that's all I had for today. Any questions, comments? Anything you want to know? Yep.
How much is the membership?
Ooh, let me get back to you. I don't know about if you're student, I think it's a discounted membership. If the students and retirees, it's a discounted membership. And I think you can also get a couple of free meetings. I believe April is a student month, so you'll be free to come to the meeting as well. But I have no idea how much, to be honest. I know for our chapter, it's in your fee, you pay for ISACA International, right? Which they give you the mentorship, right, and all that as a profession. I want to say it's about $200, and then there's a $40 for the Detroit chapter, and then you pay for each certification. If you don't have certification, you don't pay, but there's a discount for students in the offer run, right? What the discount is, I don't know.
I'm sure we can look it up online.
Yes,
So
and ping me, I can,
What do you find?
That's just the base, that's profession.
Professional with the students,
Student, 25.
25, that's. Yeah, really good.
Yeah, and you get, especially like when you, if you are. No, we should knew this when I was a student. Sometimes like one of my project was about Trinity Health and doing a HIPAA assessment over Trinity Health. So at that time, I did not know what that includes, right? That I can go to the OCR website, right, and do that. And I did not know that ISACA has free audit program. And this is before AI and ChatGPT, right? Or Gemini, whatever you use now. If you pull that, ask the question, you'll get the answer. But before that, right, ISACA will, they have audit programs, they have security controls, they publish papers, magazines, right, to talk about best practices, career advice as well, and also job offering as well. You can, if you are in, what you can, if you're looking for job, open for job, that will be, I think they have a career portal as well. To search, and people do search, right, and post on the career portal too.
Thank you. It's very good, $25, it's not too bad, it's almost 4 cups of coffee from Starbucks, you know?
And if we get the scholarship, right, if you apply, Yeah.
One in New York City.
Huh?
One in New York City.
Right.
so,
Actually, I might be wrong because, that price is probably too low.
Yeah. Well, that was really good, thank you so much for the. Do you mind if we do a group picture and
no, not at all.
that you can post to your LinkedIn?
Sure.
Sure, you know what I mean, and we'll do the same thing for the CIS hub, and
I'm all about OCC, right, so.
we'll make a very nice announcement. An OCC graduate came back to give to the community and talk about ISACA and things like that, so. Thank you for doing
Definitely,
that.
yeah, no
Um,
problem, my pleasure.
When is your next meeting for ISACA? I'm sure it's available on the.
On the 15, on the 15 and on the 15. April.
Tax day, okay,
Yep, it's always the third Wednesday, so we don't change. The third
Okay.
Wednesday happened to be April 15, and this is where UDM won the competition, so here's where Detroit Mercy gonna come and present as well.
okay,
So we have few students coming in, I believe it might say it's 50 students, but don't hold me on that, I'll check for you.
sure,
Where you can meet our students and you can see the presentation they developed.
Sure.
There was a scenario where they had to use certain security tools to identify security vulnerabilities. So it was pretty good case on that. So, but you can always find us. We are believe next 2 meetings we are at MSU.
okay,
That's where, but if, we can also see if OCC.
yeah, we could.
Yeah, for
lots of
facilities
24
banner.
meetings,
Yeah.
just let us know, We've got the room and we could host 24 meetings. How many usually attend the meetings?
Depends, sometimes up to 50, 60, but we also have food. So it's a dinner. How it works, it's there is a fee for the meeting, but there's also dinner included.
Okay.
And the dinner and alcohol. So
Oh,
so there's usually 2 drinks and so
I gotta check on that if we could do that, but.
yes, usually have I think with Schoolcraft we had before, but I don't think we ever had an OCC.
Sure.
But sometimes we had it at U of M where we sometimes university have like a catering company.
Sure, yeah.
For
catering.
events,
We have
yeah.
our own catering company.
Yep, that's how.
We've got a nice culinary program over at the railroad campus.
Yes,
So
yep.
we could host something there and. They'll provide us.
Rogue is a good location because our members always complain.
Sure,
The east side complain, why do you have it in Livonia? West side complain, why do you have it in Troy? So we always, when we do the survey, people complain, there's no central place, right?
Sure.
But we always have the Zoom as well. We usually do hybrid meetings too, people present. So any other question, comments? So you good?
good. Well, everybody. That was very useful, so thank you for again taking the time and coming on this crazy weather. It's sunny out and
Liquid sunshine.
I know an hour ago it was just snowing.
No, it was raining though,
Snow
now
and-
it's sun, sleet too, yeah,
Sleet too.
everything's coming down. No mixture.
Please feel free to connect on LinkedIn, right? You can, it's all about, networking. So you can ping me on LinkedIn. I don't have any business card, as I said, but if you have my name, you can, search me up. I don't think there's anybody else with my name on LinkedIn, so it should be easy to find.
Sure.
Yep.
Well, let's go ahead and do a group picture. I'm not sure where we're standing. Should we be in the middle here with the ISACA or?
Yeah, might as well, right?
Yeah.
Whoever wants to be in the group picture, just come over here, sure, you don't want to be in the picture, don't have to be.
We can get a good picture. We just connected, when it's ISACA and it's in the back, you might always leave it.
Yep,
Can you leave your ISACA in the back?
I did. I just not sure why it's not sharing. There you go.
That's it, good. All right.
There you go.
You attended, why not? Right.
And we wanna like be around one of the screens.
Yeah.
Not covering.
Not covered.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
I want to put yourself here to set up. 1, 2, 3.
Well, let's take another one. Let's see, if Adam, come in the picture. I'll take a picture and we'll send it down. No minute, let's see, plate.
But I can.
Why not? Yeah, but it is.
No, that'd be good.
You want me to just leave or?
Yep, we can, if you just want to, you can.
Yeah.
I think they're all set on here.
Well, it's actually.
Do you have any idea what that
Signs up sheet.
started?
Do you have the Zoom still going?
Yeah. The Zoom is still going. They're all good.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it is.
Is it?